So here I am sitting on the nursery floor with my son, doing a short video to give you the highlights of the friendship message that I didn't get to preach on Tuesday. So the first point is this, that by and large in our culture, we don't consider friendship something worth spending hours developing. We sort of think of friendship as something for the kids, and adult stuff is your job and your education and all of that. Yeah. But I wanted to read this verse from Ecclesiastes 4, verses 9 through 12, to give you a more of a biblical understanding of just how important friendship is. It is starting in verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So the Bible seems to say that it's incredibly important to have a friend. Woe to him who is alone when he falls, because it's important to have friends. They hold you up. They keep you grounded. They're there to talk you off the ledge. They're there to go to bat for you if you need them. And I wanted to bring up this a couple of these three guys that are part of the college ministry that call their house the Three Strands House after this threefold cord verse. And these guys, I've seen them challenge each other to be better Christian men with things like a entertainment fast, where they didn't do any entertainment for a week. They challenge each other to read their Bibles. They challenge each other to do evangelism. And two of the guys challenged each other that one of them really likes to use tracts when he's doing evangelism, and the other guy hates it, hates to use tracts. He wants to get in conversations. So they challenged each other that the other guy would only use tracts one night, and then the tract guy would use just conversations and no tracts. And that night, somebody got saved on Fry Street. So I've been able to see from these guys something that I've gotten to experience in my own life with my own close friends, that we lift each other up, challenge each other, push each other to be better people. And that's an important aspect of friendship, an important reason to spend time investing in friendships. I also wanted to bring up these two ladies who are part of our group, Shelby and Laws, that Shelby ran into what I would consider a really bizarre situation where a teacher was sort of coming against her in what I would consider a really bizarre way. And I was a college, university teacher myself, and I could identify that what was happening with Shelby was bizarre. With a teacher kind of coming against her and with, what's the word? Angst or something. Anyway, I was there when Laws found out about it, and Laws really went to bat for Shelby. She cracked out her computer. She started assembling documentation and giving helpful suggestions about going to the Dean of Students, and that's exactly what Shelby did. And the Dean of Students took up her cause, and things worked out well. And so that was an example of a friend being there in a really necessary sort of way. So I wanted to point out these two other verses that are good friendship / just being with other people verses. They're Proverbs 27 verses 5 and 6, and then Proverbs 27 verse 17. So 5 and 6 read like this: Better is open rebuke than hidden love, and wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. Yeah, yes they do. Enemies multiply kisses. And then verse 17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Now, so one thing that you can expect from a friendship is that it will challenge you, it will sharpen you. But if you think about how iron sharpens iron, it only sharpens by being struck together. So iron striking together, coming into a conflict, creates sharper iron, and that's also that has the feel of that wounds from a friend can be trusted. So if you have a friendship, you should expect there to be conflict, but the wounds from a friend actually create a restorative, a bettering sort of process in the conflict. So I heard a person say that the epicenter of conflict in a house full of roommates is the kitchen sink. And I think that is because, as we grow up, we want to become more independent on just about everything, except we're pretty much always fine with our mommy doing the dishes. No, we never say, you're never going to see a 5-year-old say, no, let me wash this bowl out. For some reason, it's let me put on my shoes, let me open the door, let me do this, that, but not dishes. We're happy with mommy doing the dishes. So when a group of people get together as young adults living in a house for the first time, that kitchen sink sort of becomes a hotbed for disagreement and conflict. And that's exactly how it was for me when I was a bachelor. And I had a good friend, Christian man, Luke Damoff, came to my house and rebuked me and my roommates because he said, you guys are Christian men, and as Christians, you should be able to be hospitable, but your house is miserable to be in. And he said it in the kitchen in front of the sink when the sink was filled with old, crusty dishes that me and my roommates had sort of been fighting about already for months. And he rebuked us, saying, our house needs to be a house that is hospitable, and it is a horrible place to be. And so we took that rebuke as an instance to be sharpened. Now, we could have just said, hey, who do you think you are? But we took it as genuine rebuke. And we already knew we had a problem because the kitchen sink, like I said, is a hotbed for disagreement. And so I know personally, I had this revelation of the no clean dishes in the dishwasher rule for myself. And it was revolutionary for me. I never thought, hey, if I just take the dishes out of if we always unload the dishwasher, then we can put dirty dishes into it as they become dirty, and they never have to fill the sink. So that's the no clean dishes in the dishwasher rule. Yeah. And that was revolutionary to me. Before, I would leave my dishes to soak. Now, some people are soakers, some people are immediate cleaners, but sometimes the immediate cleaners get bent out of shape because the soakers are leaving their dishes everywhere to be handled by the dish doer. And so you get that conflict. But the key to the kitchen sink and the key to friendship is to have communication. So if you're going to write down points for this friendship talk, it's communication. That's a major point for friendship. That it's childish to be passive aggressive. It's childish to just let anger stew within you because of dishes being left in the sink. But what you would do as an adult trying to cultivate a true, good, healthy friendship is you just talk about it. You do the hard work of setting up rules about the sink and what everybody's expectations are. And so you will actually grow as men and women, as adults, and as friends. And that kitchen sink communication rule doesn't just stop at the kitchen sink, it goes everywhere. That communication is key for friendship. And then the final point that I would have made on Tuesday is this, that is how to make friends. So the Bible doesn't say, in order to make friends, do this and this and this. But what the Bible does say is this verse that I consider to be a key verse for not only friendship, but just for life in general. And that's Matthew 7:12. Do to others what you would want them to do for you. So making friends is tough. When I came to college, I was Mr. Social Man, and I had a very hard time making friends. I remember calling up this dude who was in a social circle, who was already in a social circle when I got there, and I would ask him, "Hey, what you doing tonight?" And he would say, "Well, me and the roommates are having a game night." And I would say, "Can I come?" And so I'd invite myself to social gatherings. That took a lot of social power, a lot of social endurance on my part, and it was difficult. And I remember saying many, many times, I still believe it, that it's no wonder that people feel lonely and left out, because I was forcing myself into somebody else's friend group, and it was working, and I was feeling incredibly lonely. So the do to others what you would have them do to you comes into play like this. When Nathan Miller and I had established friend groups already as sophomores and juniors in college, Nathan would always call up and invite these freshman guys to hang out. And he would do it every time, all the time. He was always inviting them. And he told me one time, "I'm doing this because I remember what it was like to not be invited to things." And I just remember thinking, I remember that also, but I was not thinking about my ability to be the inviter. And so the point here is this. Everybody feels like you're feeling. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling like you want a friend. And so ask yourself this. Do you want somebody to call you up and invite you to something? So does everybody else. So you can be the inviter. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. So you call somebody up and invite them to something. And you might feel awkward or something. That's how everybody feels. Everybody's in the same boat together. Everybody wants to be contacted. Everybody wants to be invited to things. So you be the inviter. And some of the things that Nathan and I would do later on, after I kind of got on board with the same way of thinking, was we would just manufacture things to do so that we could invite people. Like even if we were not necessarily planning on going, I don't know, to play disc golf, we had the mindset of we want to invite some younger guys in and make them feel like part of something. So let's go play disc golf and invite them. Let's go play disc golf so that we can invite them. So you go buy some disc golf discs and go invite somebody to play. Go to the movies. That's an easy one. Don't underestimate the value that you have as an inviter. And remember, do to others as you would have them do to you, and expect friendship to take work and take intentionality. All right, so those are my points. I don't know if I can keep up with all of them. It was do unto others, so you be the inviter. And it was expect conflict in your friendship, and it can lead to growth and development. So spend time, spend the effort to cultivate friendships, because woe to the one who has no friend when he falls. But the one who has a friend will be lifted up. All right, there you have it. 14 minutes of glory. And Aaron, you did so well, my boy.